We are experiencing revival of giants that have been asleep for a very long time. Newcastle defeating Liverpool to win their first trophy in a very long time. Aston Villa in the Champions League quarter-final and Nottingham Forest confident of securing a Champions League spot. Football is a game of cycles. Clubs rise, dominate, fall, and sometimes seem completely finished. But if history has taught us anything, it's that truly great clubs, those with rich traditions, passionate fanbases, and deep-rooted legacies, always find their way back to the top. Newcastle United, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest are perfect examples. At different points, they were considered finished, stuck in the lower leagues or struggling in mid-table irrelevance. But today, they are back, proving that history and legacy still matter in modern football. So, why do big clubs with a great history always manage to revive themselves? Let's break it down. No club dominates forever. Even giants like Manchester United, Barcelona, and AC Milan have gone through dark periods. But history shows that these clubs always manage to return to the top because football operates in cycles. Take Newcastle United, for example. Once a force in English football, they spent years in mid-table mediocrity, even getting relegated in 2009 and 2016. But fast forward to today, and they are back in the Champions League, competing with the best. Why? Because clubs with history attract investment, players, and fans that help push them back to where they belong. A club's fanbase is its heartbeat. Unlike smaller clubs that fade into obscurity, teams with history have passionate supporters who refuse to accept mediocrity. Look at Aston Villa. After winning the European Cup in 1982, they slowly declined and even got relegated in 2016. But their fans never gave up. When they returned to the Premier League, Villa Park was packed, creating an atmosphere that helped them attract top players and fight their way back into Europe. Now, they're challenging for Champions League football again. This is the power of history. When a club has a large and loyal following, failure is never permanent. Football is a business, and investors always look for clubs with potential. History and tradition make clubs attractive for takeovers because they already have a global brand, a large fanbase, and a legacy that can be revived. Newcastle United is a prime example. After years of struggle under Mike Ashley, their takeover by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund transformed them overnight. But why did investors choose Newcastle over other struggling teams? Because of their rich history, massive fanbase, and potential to compete with the biggest clubs in England. Similarly, Nottingham Forest, once a European powerhouse under Brian Clough, returned to the Premier League after more than 2 decades. They were stuck in the Championship for more than 22 years. Their historic status made them an attractive club for ambitious owners, leading to smart investments that helped them rise again. Players dream of wearing iconic jerseys, and managers want to restore legendary clubs to their former glory. Clubs with history don't just attract fans, they attract top talent. When Unai Emery took over Aston Villa, he saw a project with serious potential. Villa had the stadium, the fans, and the legacy, all they needed was the right leadership. Now, they're competing at the highest level again. The same goes for Newcastle. Eddie Howe took over a struggling team, but he knew the history and passion behind the club. That motivation helped him rebuild the squad and turn them into a top team again. Football isn't just about money, it's about identity, tradition, and pride. Clubs with history have a culture that newer teams can't replicate. Most fans of current struggling teams would love to be in the shoes of fans of league favorites Liverpool. But even Liverpool are not an exception of many years of tough times. They experienced 30 years without a league title, and their comeback in recent years further cements the fact that historic clubs always find a way back. Title contenders Arsenal also are a proof to this narrative, as they never looked like a serious team for over 17 years since the Invincibles' success. But now they are challenging for the league title in 3 consecutive seasons and have gone a long time without getting beaten by any of the Big Six. Judging by this tale, the history is teaching us it won't take time for other struggling teams with great history to rise again. A club like Blackburn Rovers, who have a decent history, may rise again in the coming years. They were Premier League winners during the 1994-1995 season, and they are also 6 times FA Cup winners. Another team we might see rise again is Preston North End, who were the original Invincibles from the 1888-1889 season. And surely such legacies deserves to be revived, but maybe it's a matter of time. The decline of these teams reveal true fanbase, as fans will always offer their support no matter what happens. Football is a game of ups and downs. Clubs rise, fall, and sometimes seem lost forever. But if history has taught us anything, it's that great clubs never stay down for long. Newcastle United, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest are living proof of this. Legacy, fan passion, and footballing culture mean something. That's why historic clubs always find their way back, because they belong at the top. Who do you think will be the next fallen giant to return? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible football stories.